So today we're going to be talking about advocacy and oppression.
In Tacoma, co-trainer Creston Buddha Harrison is preparing delegates for the Power Shuffle. It's a potentially humiliating training exercise in which participants are asked to respond to highly personal questions.
If people routinely mispronounce your name, take a step backward.
Oh, back?
If someone you knew inside an organization ever helped you get a job or internship, please step forward. Okay. If you have been addressed with homophobic slurs, take a step back. If you have ever been called a racial slur, please step backward. Dang. If you ever felt pressure to alter your appearance, mannerisms, or language to avoid being judged based on your race, take a step backward. If your parents were born in a country that is not the U.S., please take a step back. If your parents was born and it wasn't here, step back.
If your parent was born in a different country, take a step backwards. How many of you actually are against the wall, but you should have been taking more steps backwards?
I'm at the very end once again. Yeah?
It isn't the most pleasant or comforting of exercises, but it is revealing.
I just want them to realize that they can't sit around wasting time letting the cards they've been dealt hold them back from what they want to accomplish.
After the Power Shuffle, a discussion about oppression opens the floodgates of emotion.
My mom didn't support me. I felt really alone at times. I would cry. I write to express myself, and I just felt like no one didn't really care how I felt, like just everything. I just felt really depressed to the point where at times I would sleep at night not wanting to wake up.
Like my parents and stuff didn't really believe in me or anything because they felt like I was dumb because like I was pretty bad in middle school and elementary. And so like, I got mad at them and I kind of proved them wrong by doing really good in high school.
I was 6 steps away from the wall behind it, so I wasn't even there if you picture it. I was hoping for a different result this year where I wasn't all the way in the back, but once again, I'm last in line, so I was like, got the stars, look how they shine for you.
But Chino is learning that life holds strange twists and turns. Less than an hour ago, he was hanging his head in the back of the Power Shuffle line. Now, he stands proudly in front of a full house, singing songs at the Mandolin Cafe in Tacoma.
I came along, I wrote a song for you, and all the things you do, and it was called Yellow.
How does a 17-year-old handle such an unsettling transition in such a short period of time, from extreme lows to highs?
You gotta leave everything at the door. You can't be feeling all mopey, and I had my ifs and buts about this. I was like, dang, you know, I got a performance like in an hour and I'm doing the Power Shuffle. You know, I was sitting there like, man, but hey, it got done and it worked great.
Next, on Voices of the Inner City.
But right now, things are a little rocky.
Their efforts to change public policy fell short last year. What are they doing this time around to be successful? Find out when our KIRO 7 Family Connection special continues.
The system tries all it can to destroy us. It won't succeed. God is on our side.
They sit mesmerized, as if they are listening to a modern-day prophet. Maybe they are. For the delegates of Seattle's Youth Empowerment Program, learning about the life of Archbishop Desmond Tutu is important because they'll be seeing him in person come Friday at a rally in the Tacoma Dome.
In 1994, millions of black South Africans, including Tutu, voted for the first time.
Exposing youth to thoughtful discussion is critical to trainer Steve Polzin.
There's so much opportunity out there for you all. But some of us have these layers and layers of things that are preventing us from getting to them.
Polzin knows because he was once chest deep in those layers.
But I've seen a lot of action go down here, a lot of fights, a lot of exchange, drug exchange down here, a lot of prostitution in this area.
The area is Pioneer Square on the corner of First and Cherry. When he was 20 years old, Polzin was working as a full-fledged gang member. It wasn't the life Polzin wanted to live.
I think deep down in the pit of my gut, there was maybe an ounce of caring where these like almost aha moments would come. What are you doing? Or, man, you're hurting somebody, or you're selling drugs and killing somebody, and slowly like that. But then this anger would rise up again. I had a lot of hate in my heart, been through a lot of damage. At an early age, I was molested, then I went through all the mental abuse and some physical abuse with my dad. So I built up this anger and frustration in me, and it caused me to venture out and look for affirmation and security in other ways, and I found that with my homeboys.
It was only a matter of time before Steve Polzin realized where gang life was leading him. A minister at a church in Everett helped him turn his life around. But more than a decade later, the memories and regrets still linger.
Who knows how that's changed the course of their lives? Who knows, the folks that I've sold drugs to, if they're even alive anymore, or if they're, if they're drug dealers now, or whatever the situation is. I wish I could change those things. I wish I didn't even have that on my conscience, or on my, on my shoulders, resting on my shoulders. Some days where I just end up being emotional and cry for no reason.
Walked up on me like that, dude, I would laugh.
Steve Polzin knows he can't change the past. He can only help enrich the future of these young lives. Certainly, his life experience has helped prepare him for this.
Tomorrow's a new day. Let's try to even go further.
3, 2, 1, action.
Welcome back, Quakers. It's Brandon and
Nakia.
Back with QTV.
Nakia hopes to go to college this fall and work towards a degree in counseling. Meanwhile, she's practicing her communication skills in a television production class at Ben Franklin High School in Seattle.
I appreciate you. You've been pushing me since freshman year, and we're almost time to graduate.
Almost.
You're gonna see us off,
there.
so we'd just like to thank you for that.
For Nakia, the key to transforming a community begins by enlightening its youth.
I just want you to understand, just because you come out of an environment like that doesn't necessarily mean that's the path that your life has to take.
If you think that hurts, then wait, here comes the uppercut. The school was garbage in the first place. That's on the up and up. Keep you at
Shaking off stereotypes, that's the focus of the movie Nakia and her fellow Seattle Yep delegates are making.
Action.
It'll be shown before a live audience at a youth empowerment summit in July in Washington, D.C. Delegates from around the country will be there to get a glimpse of life in South Seattle. Presenting their ideas by making a movie is part of their journey.
It came about just by talking about what we see in our community, and we're thinking of how do adults view us. So sometimes adults don't understand youth just as well as youth don't understand adults. And so we were thinking, why don't they understand us? What do they perceive us as? And then so that's where the stereotypes came up.
I'm me, Mom. I'm me, and I'm here. I'm here 15 years into my life in front of this whole audience just to get through to you as a boy. But you don't seem to get that because you still see me as that boy you wanted to be a girl.
One of the scenarios was a young lady has a baby and she's standing at a garbage can. And a lot of the times, people have tended, women have tended to throw their kids away. And so we showed how she contemplated it or whatever, but didn't do it. And so it just goes to show a lot of the times when you don't get to know somebody, you automatically have an assumption about them that they're a thief or that, they're misguided. But a lot of the times you just have to get to know that person and understand where they come from. Are you ready?
It's serious subject matter, but on this day, while acting out a street mugging scene, sincerity gives way to frivolity.
And action! I'm gonna need you to put your jeans down, bro. Let's do it again. That don't count.
Seems like Jatorius Woods can't keep a straight face while playing the role of a gangbanger.
Jatorius, put your pant leg down. Put it down. Put your pant leg down. Thank you. I want y'all to walk like you're hanging out, like you're kicking it with each other. Make it look natural.
Basically, we were just trying to piece together real life scenarios. For instance, we're doing a beat up scene, someone getting bullied and someone's in the influence and say, hey guys, it's not cool. It's really giving the graphic detail of the real world, what happens. And so that if you show the realness of what's going on, then it'll make people aware.